Okay, so welcome to the deep dive. When Bitcoin violently spikes past like $82,000, your immediate thought is probably, okay, the institutions are buying.
Right. The bull market is back.
Exactly. But this recent rally to $82,479 wasn't organic. It was basically a mechanical trap.
Yeah, a structural squeeze.
Right. So today our mission is decoding that illusion, looking at the massive structural shifts happening right underneath the spot price.
Because what looked like a massive wave of buying was actually just, well, it was 91.7% forced closures, just short sellers getting completely liquidated.
Like stepping on a landmine.
Exactly. The market wasn't rising from new money flowing in. Clearinghouses were just automatically closing out bad bets.
So it's destructive, not natural growth. But here's the detail that makes zero sense to me. Right as this landmine goes off and we reclaim that $80,000 floor, an ancient whale entity steps in.
Yeah, that massive $1.1 billion leveraged short.
Right. Like $753 million shorting Bitcoin and $353 million shorting Ethereum. Why on earth would a legacy player step directly in front of a moving freight train like that?
Well, it's financial suicide unless you're looking past the localized panic. They see the extreme macro fragility.
The real fiat cash just isn't there to sustain these highs.
Exactly. They're basically using the retail chaos to build a massive bet against the market while prices are, artificially pumped.
So they're betting on a severe liquidity drought.
Right, driven by geopolitics. The physical reality is dictating the financial reality right now.
Because the Middle East diplomatic framework has totally collapsed.
Completely. And we just saw that direct projectile strike on the U.S.-owned commercial carrier.
The Safesea Neha.
Yeah, right in the Persian Gulf near Qatar.
Which basically paralyzes maritime transit in the Strait of Hormuz.
Exactly.
So let's connect those dots for a second. A paralyzed strait means oil prices spike.
And elevated crude oil embeds sticky supply-side inflation into everything.
So the Fed is mathematically stuck. They literally cannot execute the rate cuts that high beta assets like Bitcoin desperately need to climb.
Right, because these assets thrive on cheap borrowing.
Yeah.
And without rate cuts, that cheap money is just gone. Plus, you have the U.S. Treasury actively vacuuming up $125 billion from private markets.
Through massive quarterly debt issuance.
Yep. So the cash is draining out of the system entirely, not flowing in.
Okay, so if the macro liquidity dries up and cheap money is gone, the industrial companies in this space have to adapt.
Or die. Yeah.
Which explains this radical pivot we're seeing at the infrastructure level.
Mm-hmm.
Traditional miners are abandoning crypto to build AI data centers.
It's a permanent shift in how baseload power is used. Look at Keel infrastructure.
Formerly Bitfarms, right?
Right. They're taking their $197 million unencumbered Bitcoin treasury, basically liquidating their war chest to fund a massive pivot into high-performance computing for AI.
That is a huge gamble. But, it isn't just the hardware shifting, right? The money itself is shifting.
Oh, absolutely. The financialization of AI is here.
Because Circle just capitalized their new ARC token for $222 million, specifically for agent wallets. But wait, let me stop there. Because why does an AI even need a crypto wallet?
Well, think about it. An autonomous AI program can't exactly, walk into a local Chase branch with a driver's license to open a checking account.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
If an AI agent needs to pay for server space or buy computing power, it needs native financial plumbing.
And stablecoins on blockchains do exactly that.
Yes. Instant programmable settlement, bypassing traditional banking entirely.
Oh, wow. So the AI just uses digital dollars to pay its own bills seamlessly. That completely explains why traditional banks are so terrified right now.
They are lobbying heavily against the Clarity Act for a reason.
Because stablecoins could replace their core function.
Their own actuarial models show yield-earning stablecoins could destroy 20% of commercial lending.
Wow.
If retail deposits flow into stablecoins instead of checking accounts, banks lose the capital they need to actually issue loans.
It's an existential threat to fractional reserve banking.
Exactly.
So if you're sitting there holding crypto, waiting for a pure speculative bull run, you really have to look at what's actually being built.
Right. The ecosystem is decoupling from pure speculation.
Exactly. You are watching it morph into the foundational infrastructure for the AI economy, all while navigating a deeply fractured global landscape.
The ledger isn't just a casino anymore. It's becoming the computational and financial grid for the machine economy.
But that leaves you with one massive lingering question. If industrial capital permanently reallocates its massive energy resources away from securing the Bitcoin network
and redirects it toward AI computing, yeah.
What happens to the ultimate security budget of the decentralized ledger? I mean, if the miners leave for AI, who keeps the original machine running?